let's take a look at all of the manga that I read last week. Last week I did read some digitals. Recently, I don't know what's up, but I've been kind of getting into more digitals. While typically I do like to go into my reading blind, where if something seems like it's interesting or I think the concept is kind of fun, I'll just buy the first volume physically, and if I don't like it, I don't like it. But because we're having a lot of postal issues here in Canada, I have to be a little bit more picky with what I read. Thus, I've begun reading more and more chapter ones, up to volume ones, but recently just chapter ones on my Kindle or like manga reading apps. And then if I like them, I'll add them to my cart, and hopefully the postal issues here will stop and I'll be able to buy them eventually. But okay, let's take a look at what I have read. The very first one I read is volume 4 of Kami-sama Gakko no Uchikobore, or The Failure at God's School. While this is one series that I am really, really enjoying, but I will say volume 4 was probably my least favorite of the series so far. I kind of expected, I don't want to say more, but I expected there to be some more plot development than there was in this volume. That isn't to say that I didn't enjoy it, nor was it a bad volume. Just it wasn't my favorite. And I will say the reason I do think that this volume felt very slow is because this is a very long series. This is probably the longest series out of everything that I have been reading recently. So it does have to move a little bit more slowly. This is taking a lot more time introducing all of the characters because there are quite a few characters, and all of the characters are slowly being given more and more screen time. We're learning about them all, they're developing. Rather than just focusing on our main character Nagi here, we're focusing on the entire cast. So yeah, it's gonna take quite a few volumes for the plot to move on when so much focus is being given to the characters. And I do actually really, really like that. I really like learning about all of the characters, not just our main character, and I really do enjoy it. So even though this wasn't my favorite volume because really there wasn't a lot of progression in this volume, we did learn a lot more about Nagi herself, some of the teachers. Like there was a whole bunch of character development in this volume, so I did like that aspect. But I didn't like how, like, even in the previous volume a new character was like glimpsed at. We were shown their face. We were shown like they're probably going to be a part of the plot. They didn't make a single appearance in this volume. They appeared at the very last page of the previous volume, and it had me thinking, surely they're going to be a part of the plot in volume 4. No, they weren't on a single page. So, like, I know they're going to come eventually, but that's what I mean when I mean like it's slow. So, like, there's kind of one big overall mystery happening in this series. And while I do appreciate that, and it was just talked about, like, oh yeah, that mystery is happening. We weren't, we didn't learn anything more about it. We're just reminded that the mystery exists. And I feel like it's going to take quite a few volumes for anything concrete or like constructive is mentioned about this mystery, because it like they're doing the setup in this volume, which I appreciate. Like it's coming, and I know the payoff is going to be really good, but as of right now, just I wanted a little bit more. I'm impatient. So it was good, just it wasn't my favorite. You have to have a least favorite volume. I also read, this one's a long title. My Situationship with the Vampire Count is the English title. This is volume 2. This one I am really, really enjoying. It's a fun series. I like I like vampire series. Even though technically he's not a vampire, he's still vampiric, and it's just nice. This is like a Cinderella-esque story, and I do agree that it is, in that our female lead runs away from an abusive family. She like leaves the family, she changes her name and finds a new family who like loves her and cares for her. I really like that. I will say in volume 2, I do wish there was more like revenge, because we do see our female lead sister come back in this volume, and the sister's doing her whole like she's gaining sympathy. She's making our female lead here look like the bad guy when really the sister's the bad guy. And all she can do is just kind of she freezes up and watches it, because Like, she has trauma, like, I get that, but I wanted her new family to be able to step in right away and protect her from everything, and that didn't happen. So I did find that to be a little bit frustrating, but I am enjoying it, and I hope we get to see some better revenge soon. Even if the revenge is just her like going on to live a happy life and never worrying about her sister again, I'll be happy with that. But as of right now, I don't feel any like satisfaction with where the plot has gone so far. I'm enjoying it, but no satisfaction yet. And that's one series that I'm trying to find the next few volumes for physically, and I just can't yet. But moving on, I also read Kondo wa Korosaretakunai, Azarashi-san. This one is a major disappointment, unfortunately, and I'm pretty upset about that. This one was canceled at 2 volumes, and I knew that going in, but it was given good reviews online, and I figured it's only 2 volumes, and maybe they knew it was going to be canceled. Like maybe the authors knew this was their last volume, so they would give it a good conclusion. They didn't. It ends on a to be continued, which is very, very disappointing. There is no relationship progress whatsoever. There's still clearly a love triangle in this volume, and we're even introduced to a new, like, I don't think he's a potential love interest, but like a new man who kind of pushes her towards the two potential love interests. Like she goes on a, or female lead goes on a date with the blonde white haired guy on the cover here, but it's not really a date because he doesn't want it to be pushy. Like he wants it to be like a work event that just so happens to be a date. So I got excited that like he's respecting her boundaries by like going on a date that's not really a date. I love it. But the next page, all of their coworkers come. So it's literally just a work event. They don't get any alone time. It's not a date. There's no relationship progression whatsoever. And like if it was a long series, I could enjoy that because I do like a good slow burn. I think the payoff is worth it in the end typically. But this was the last volume, and there was nothing up until like the very, very last, I'd say like 5 pages. It kind of leads into like, okay, like he admitted he liked her to her after she fell asleep, and like he piggybacks her home, and like you could tell like in the next volume probably something could have started to happen, but nothing ever does happen. So we get nothing at all. I'm very disappointed with this one. I'm very upset about this one because I did like I had complaints about even volume 1, but overall I did enjoy it. So like I'm upset with where it ended. But I can't do anything cuz it's over. Moving on, my English read, I read Fruits Basket, the first omnibus. And so, like, embarrassing fact about me, I've never read Fruits Basket. I watched some of the anime when it first came out forever ago, but I never even finished the anime because I'm bad with anime. And I spent the whole time thinking, like, spoiler warning, I thought Toru ended up with Yuki, the mouse. And like I watched like I think half the anime, figured yeah they'll end up together, cool, like I don't really need to finish it, whatever. And like it left my brain. Like I enjoyed it, just it left my brain. When I was younger I was more into the shonen series, and so left my brain. And then the new anime came out, and I kept seeing these like edits on TikTok where she was with the cat, not the mouse. And I was like, what? I was really, really confused because I spent like 10 years thinking I knew how it ended, and I had no idea how it ended. So I'm reading volume 1. I need to read it because I need to know what happens. I really did enjoy this one. It left me with so many, so many questions. And it made me laugh a lot because this is such a nostalgic series where a lot of the characters, like their faces are really pointy. And some of the art, like it's just so much fun. I really, really like it. I was like lovingly making fun of it as I was reading it because like a lot of the times like Yuki only has one eye. And like why does he only have one eye? Or like you can see I think his name Shigure, the dog. He will like speak to wolves, and it's like I don't remember that from the anime at all. So I am really, really enjoying this. I will say my favorite character so far is the bunny. You may notice I'm bad with names, so I refer to them as the animal they are. But I have been really, really enjoying this. So many questions. So excited to continue reading. But I don't like that they're omnis. Like I like the art. I think it's pretty, but my hands fall asleep so quickly when I'm reading them. And those are the 4 physicals that I've read. Now let's move on to the digitals. The first digital manga that I read is this guy right here called With You Our Love Will Make It Through, or Kimi to Koete Koi ni Naru. And I will say, if I can get past the fact that the male lead has a dog head, I will enjoy this one. It has an anime right now, and a lot of my friends are reading it, and I'm nothing if not a follower. So I read the first chapter and the first chapter only, and I thought it was cute. It had a lot of the shoujo tropes, especially in their first meeting where she climbed the school gate and tried to help him, and like their hands touched lightly, and like she was flustered, blah blah blah. I thought that was cute. I think the conversation about like humans versus beast humans was interesting. Like there's a lot of like micro and macro aggressions, and kind of talks about like all of that stuff. So I do think it's interesting. I think it's a little bit more than just a common like romance series. I do like that. I think that's interesting. But he's a dog. And I can't. I've seen clips on TikTok. I don't like overly spicy romance series. I like my romance series to be cute more than anything, or spooky more than anything. Like sometimes like Stomp Kick Love I do like, and that can be a little bit more, but even then like it's not really. Like I don't like all that much spice. I don't mind implied spice, but I don't like being shown anything. And from what I'm seeing on TikTok, this shows a lot. So we'll see. I like chapter 1. I thought it was interesting. I think our female lead is a little bit too naive in like every concept of her life, but that she's willing to learn, which I like. I do like the male lead in that I think he's funny. I do like that he like genuinely tried to talk to her pet dog. I thought that was like kind of strange but really funny. So I'll continue it and see if I can get past the fact that he's literal a dog. I think I can enjoy it, but we'll see. If it gets too spicy, I'm gonna drop it just because I know I don't really like that. But I don't know until I try. Another one that I read. This is a reread. This is like my third time reading chapter 1. It's called Oshite Shitsuji-kun, and I'm mad at Amazon and Surugaya because I really, really want the physical for volume 1 real bad. And it's been out of stock on Amazon since it came out, basically. I'm kicking myself for not pre-ordering it. Surugaya did get it in stock, and I bought it like 3 weeks ago now, and they just haven't shipped it to me because they're postal stuff. And I'm angry. And now I'm pretty sure it's sold out at Surugaya, so it's just not going to come to me at all. And I'm really mad. So I keep rereading chapter 1 because I want to read it physically because I really like it. But all that complaining aside, I read Oshite Shitsuji-kun again. I still really, really liked it. I like everything about it. It's a rich daughter ex butler series. She's spoiled. He doesn't let her get her way. Every single trope in it is a trope that I really, really like, and I want to continue reading it, and I can't, and I'm getting very frustrated by that. And then the last thing I read is chapter 1 of Tarou no Manimani. This one I really like, and again, it's one of the ones where I liked it enough that I know I want the physical. I don't want to read it online if I don't have to. I want to add it to my collection. And this is a series about a woman who ends up using an app to get a relationship where she basically pays a man to hang out with her, basically. And a whole bunch of stuff goes down. The boy that she ends up meeting, I say boy, the man that she ends up meeting is like a very, very cute, very innocent man. And she takes it upon herself to be a little bit too altruistic. And she tells him, you know what, you should stop doing this and get a real job. Like, don't depend on women to give you money to hang out with them. Like, find an actual job. And then she tries to walk away thinking that she just like saved his life because she gave him that advice. And then he drops his like cute and innocent facade right away, and he like goes at her to be like, who the hell are you to tell me what to do? Like, I don't want to work. Like, isn't being cute enough? And then it goes about their relationship. She's very altruistic, but she's very bad at relationships. She's a little bit too serious, and she can't really grasp why her previous relationships haven't worked out. And like until now, all of the men in her life have found her to be a little bit too annoying. They don't really want to deal with her, so they don't really tell her what's up. But this boy, she's literally paying him to hang out with her. So he doesn't care, like he'll tell her. So the two of them are able to get close because he gives it to her straight. And it's clear he has ulterior motives because obviously, and she doesn't really understand that. And it just talks about their relationship. And this is a like adult, like she's working, she has money romance series. And I find it very fun. And I want to continue reading, and I'm upset that I can't. And that's everything I read. I am praying to God that I can start ordering books online again. Because I really want to. I don't really want to have to do digitals if I don't have to, because I forget what I read. I lose track of things very easily. And because I read things in Japanese, I still haven't been able to find any app whatsoever that keeps track of everything that I've read. So, like, Goodreads does not have all of the books I've read on it. And I don't think like a user can add things to Goodreads. Let me know if I'm wrong, because if I can create my own listings, that would solve a lot of my problems. I also use AnyList, and while that one has most of what I've read, it still doesn't have everything. And I don't like AnyList. It doesn't have the dates that you've read. I want to know when I read what. And I find it annoying. And yeah.